Welcome back, my wonderful viewers, to the hot seat with Anna. And today we have an amazing person and a friend of mine, Bettina Trablusi, who is a non-traditional marketing specialist. You're asking yourself what's non-traditional? That's Bettina. So she does marketing. Everyone today does digital marketing, SEO, pay-per-click, metadata, everything like Facebook ads. Bettina actually goes and does the opposite. She does traditional marketing for people who want to have a piece of paper in their hand, who want to do events, and who want to really stand out. So she is really an edgy, boots on the ground marketing agency, marketing specialist. Welcome, Bettina.
Thank you so much, Anna, for having me. It's an honor.
Thank you for being here. So, Bettina, let's dive right in. Everyone screams digital first. Digital marketing agencies are everywhere. You are a great believer in offline and you push offline marketing. What results do you show business owners to shut skeptics up fast? So, what's the value of non digital marketing?
That's a great question, actually. So I tell people booked meetings. How would you like booked meetings? Not engagement. I want to show them calendars filled from face-to-face drop-offs, introduction, events. One real appointment, usually it beats 1,000 likes, in my opinion. And I'm not here to bash because you need an online presence. However, that personal touch, I don't think digital can replace that. So I always tell people the cost per client, not the cost per click.
Mm,
Huge difference. Offline regularly produces lower acquisitions cost because you bypass the bidding wars. There is algorithm that you have to count and take accountability. So the referral velocity, that's what I tell them. That's the first thing. Track how many warm introduction come from one in-person relationship. So the offline multiply trust, you have the trust. When I go through a person, I talk about, I represent you. So I'm your personal ambassador. I build the relationship for you, and then I will hand them over on a silver golden platter, whatever you want to. And then the decision maker access. Digitally, you cannot access decision makers. But
mm.
with me, with my kind of marketing, you hit what you want to hit, the decision maker, which is really who you want to do business with because that's the person who's gonna tell you yes or no. So the decision maker access, that's a huge thing. And then we have the sales cycle compression. In-person relationship usually cuts buyer time in half because trust. It always comes down, for me, it comes down to trust because people do business with people they like and they trust. If they don't know you, they don't trust you, they don't like you, they're not going to do business with you. So that is established immediately because I'm coming through the door, I'm building that relationship, that rapport for you, and then I hand them over and I do the introduction. So the bottom line is digital gets attention, offline gets commitment. And that's what you want. When owners see revenue, which is what I guarantee, tied to real human contact, the debate just ends right there.
I love it. So let's get more specific. Can you give me one offline tactic that you use that business owners tend to ignore every day while wasting money on digital ads?
I am so old school, Anna, that I still believe in handwritten notes.
Oh,
Handwritten notes go a long way. And what do I mean by that? Let's say you met with a client. Instead of following up via email, you send that person a handwritten note. And usually it's good to do it 24 to 48 hours after you have met with them. And
hmm.
when they receive it and they touch it, that feel, it just screams, you stand out, first of all, because that has vanished. It's non-existent. No one sends handwritten notes to anybody. But let's say if you are my client and I met with you, and then 2 days later you receive a handwritten note thanking you for taking your time to meet with me, whatever the case. Why it works? Because it's personal. It's very It's very warm. It's very cozy. It triggers reciprocity. You know, the brain read, reads it as an effort. Oh, this person went out of their way. He put some thought, he or she put some thought in it. It's not marketing. It's just personable. You know, it's an effort. You
Actually.
bypass the fatigue entirely. Zero competition in the mailbox. Because people they throw away junk mail, but when they see a handwritten note, very nice envelope, it just stands out. So that's my advice.
Well, junk mail is the keyword for my next question. Flyers, postcards, door hangers. Most people think junk mail. What separates moneymakers from trash when you send direct mailing pieces?
Another good question. So the intent beats the design. Yes, I am a graphic designer in profession, and I know that visual is amazing. But when it comes to hitting the message and delivering that message across, I think the intent, it just beats. Everybody's like, oh wow, marketing, 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 marketing. I think when you do a clear message, that just beats the whole design, because these design is all, it's marketing, right? It's marketing, it's commercialized. Everybody, oh my God, let's do the nice design. The moneymaker talk about their problem right now. So to give an example, instead of saying, oh, free estimates, that's very broad. You want to be specific.
Mhm.
So for example, let's say you are in a service like a trade and you are providing a service. Instead of saying free estimates, say oil stains before HOA inspections. Now you're
Mhm.
being specific. You're intentional with your message. And I think intentional beats any commercialized great design any day, anytime. Whatever you do, I always tell people you have to be intentional. And it's the same thing with everything that you do. When you're intentional, that beats everything else. They look like notes. So like handwritten notes, right? The same thing that we talked about before. Not ads. You don't want to be an ad. And I always tell people the KISS theory. Keep it short and simple. Don't do the people ignore the ads. They throw it in the garbage. But when you have a clear message, I think they feel targeted, not blasted. You want to target people, not blast people. And that's what my theory is about the junk mail.
So, if a local professional services firm like myself has $1,000 to spend this month, where do you think does offline beat online every single time for that kind of budget? Because some of us don't have huge budgets. And we are not corporates, we don't have tens of thousands of dollars a month. And it's
Hmm.
a limited budget, $1,000, $2,000,
Of
$5,000.
course.
So if a local company says to you, we have $1,000, where does offline beats online in competing for $1,000 budget?
I think the face-to-face marketing will always beat it. And there's several options for it. You can do in-person networking.
Mhm.
And I always say networking, you want to keep it intimate. And even if you do it on a large scale, you're still meeting people in person. You
Mhm.
can do strategic lunches. That also goes a long way. You can do local partner referrals. That beats an ad every time, because whatever you do in person, it's still in person. So in person, for me, it beats any digital anytime, because now it boils down to intention, target. You're targeting the trust. Trust transfers instantly when you're meeting somebody, when you're talking to somebody. Decision makers are present, because usually that's who you want to target and invite to your networking if you're doing that.
Yeah.
Conversations convert faster than clicks.
Okay. I
And
love that.
yeah,
Conversations faster.
exactly. Conversation convert faster than clicks. Offline does not get any attention.
Mm. Yeah.
It
It's
creates relationship that close. That's what personal does. So when you're talking to somebody, the relationship, it can convert into a closed business.
mhm. Okay,
Yep.
great. Thank you. Um, Business owners tend to love shortcuts. Everyone has
Mhm.
no time, no money. Everyone is literally trying to do as much as possible in as short time as possible. What offline shortcut quietly kills results every time? So, what is one thing where we should not seek a shortcut?
Follow up.
Oh, okay. Tell us more.
People fall behind and short with follow up. They
Mm,
people lose a lot of business, a lot of potential clients, and that can convert into business by
mm,
not following up. So I think skipping the human follow up,
mm-hmm,
that's where people go wrong, because
mm-hmm,
business owners drop flyers, mailers, cards, and call it marketing. No, without a face to face visit, a
mm,
call, I tell people, yeah, okay, you can call, but a personal touch, going through somebody to somebody's office, somebody's place of work, I think that just builds the trust. You
yeah.
stand out because everybody calls, but you don't know who's on the other end of the line. But when you meet that person, you feel their energy, you feel their vibe, you see their body language. So the message gets ignored and the results quietly die when you're not doing the follow-up, because let's face it, out of sight, out of mind. But when people see you constantly, and that's where my marketing is more effective, because when I go through the door and I talk to somebody, they remember me. They don't always remember. You have to understand, people don't remember always what you say to them, but they
Mhm.
will always remember how you made them feel.
That's a good point. So, thinking about, I know a lot of my friends feel that digital replaces offline traditional marketing, but offline traditional marketing is still here. So I'm convinced it's here to stay. And it's probably kind of started, I see it coming back. So people started realizing how important it is and that it's a valid and very important part of the marketing mix and not
Mhm.
just being replaced by digital.
Yes.
So when you look at your industry now, what offline tactic works in 2026 even better than 5, 10 years ago? And why do business owners, why is this still refusing to do it?
Effort. So face-to-face introduction for me will always hit number one. But they work even better in 2006 because buyers are numb to ads, emails, because you get 1,000 emails every day. If you're going to sit down and read every email, you will never work.
Yeah.
And AI generated outreach. There is no, there is no personal touch. There is not, it's not personable. It's not customized. It's not, what's the word? It's not warm. So in-person conversation instantly signal trust. You gain credibility and people see it as an effort. Things digital cannot fake. And owners still avoid it because it's time consuming.
Mm,
They need to make an effort. A lot of people, they don't like to talk to people, so it makes it uncomfortable for them and they cannot scale it.
yeah, that's true. It's not scalable. It's a good point, actually.
Exactly. So they'd rather chase easy,
Mm,
which is clicks, than do the thing that would actually shortens the sales cycle and closes real business right away.
mm. So one of the things you mentioned is that in person, contact, personal touch, face to face is very important.
Yes.
Thinking about networking events, some
Hmm.
local networking events can feel awkward, especially
Yes.
when you are a shy. I'm very bubbly, so I love in-person events. That's where I strive. I love being with people. Many people are not like me. Many people are dreading it. So you tell
Yes.
them you need to go on network, they hate it, they feel they have to sell themselves. So it's difficult. So what
Yes.
mistakes do people make when going to a local networking event where a lot of people go away with no new leads, no new ideas, nothing? For me, it's impossible, but a lot of people get nothing out of it. So what is the most common mistakes business owners make? when they network locally at local networking events.
I have been to networking events, and what I see are people coming to collect business cards instead of building one real conversation.
Mm,
And they pitch too fast.
yeah.
That's one thing. It's like speed talking.
Mhm.
They want to talk to everybody briefly and
Yeah.
leave with a stack of literally a stack of names and zero trust.
Yeah.
If I want to take me as an example, and you will see that I never ever hand out my business card unless they ask for it.
Hmm.
Why? Because I want you to want my business card. Because let's face it, for example, you and I meet you for the first time in a networking event. I hand you my business card. What are you going to say? No, I don't want it.
Yeah.
Of course, you're going to take it. Doesn't mean you wanted it.
Mm.
I want you to hear my story
Hmm.
and then ask for my business card. And that's when I give it to you. So real opportunities usually for me, it comes by slowing down, first of all, not speed talking. Listening is a big thing. Creating one memorable connection, and it's not for playing speed networking, it's not a roulette. So I think if you have one meaningful conversation with one person at a networking event, and that person is really interested in your services or whatever you have to offer, and they ask for your business card, and hopefully that can turn into a business, that was worth it for me, I think. So if
Absolutely.
so that's where people go wrong, is they go to collect a stack of business cards and go home and then not even follow up.
Yeah. Yes. Well, I can already hear that offline marketing takes a lot of effort. So unlike digital marketing, you pour a lot of money into it and then someone else
Mhm.
does it for you or automations do it for you. Offline
Yes.
marketing is effort. So what type of business owner should stop listening to you right now? So probably business owner who doesn't want to make any effort or has no time.
Yeah. So the owners who want results without the responsibility, right, should stop listening right now. Because if you're chasing fast clicks and automated funnels and all that, and set it and forget it,
Mm-hmm.
growth offline marketing will just frustrate you.
Yeah. No,
It
I
doesn't, it
accept.
doesn't, for me, shortcuts are not rewarded. If you're not personally invested, and I'm not just talking about money, but personally invested,
Mm-hmm.
and you do the effort and you're consistent. Consistency is key, and you have to follow up. You have to follow through, because it doesn't make sense if you go through all that and then you fall short with the follow-up. So offline works best for owners that are willing to show up in real rooms and real conversations
Mm,
and nurture that relationship after the first touch,
thank
because you want long term. You don't want a one night stand. I call them one night stands, you know?
you.
Mhm.
That's a thought that will be stuck in my mind forever. Thank you. So, service businesses like myself, we love referrals, yet we sometimes are not great at engineering them.
Mhm.
What system forces referrals without sounding desperate? Because it's difficult to approach a client, for example, ask them for a referral. Do you have any advice on how we could engineer referrals without sounding desperate for sale?
So I say stop asking for referrals. You
Mm,
have to trigger them.
mm,
For me, you have to earn a referral. So let's say after your big win, you build a repeatable moment with that person where referrals feels natural and expected, and
mhm.
then you're not sounding needy,
Yeah.
because when you're desperate, that's when you make the worst decisions, and it comes across and people think, "Oh, I can fake it." That's what you think, because the
Yeah.
other person can see it. So deliver a specific and measurable result,
Mm,
and name your win, And at this point, the client just introduced you to somebody else.
Mm.
Because if you did a good job and that person liked what you did for them, it's automatic. They're gonna refer you to everybody they know because they are happy with you. So ask for an exact type of referral, not
Yeah.
anyone you know.
Hmm.
I hear it all the time. Anyone you know. No, you're not looking for anyone and everyone. You're looking for specific. So if you want to ask for a referral, and it shouldn't be like in a needy way, just be specific. Say an exact things. You're not chasing referrals. This is not a race game. You're embedding them into the client's experience, and they will come automatically. That's what makes it consistent, and then it will just become an automatic thing, so you become comfortable, and it's scalable at the end.
Hmm. Thank you.
Mhm.
So if someone listens to this episode and then yet still decides to hide behind social media posts, what truth do they avoid as a local business owner?
Well, at that point they're just avoiding visibility without contact because they don't want to do the work. It feels safe for them to hide behind the computer,
Mm,
but it just, unfortunately, it doesn't create that relationship and the trust that you're looking for
mm,
to have a long-term relationship with a client that's going to refer you more business. So hiding behind social posts, it just let them feel productive without risking the rejections. A lot of people, they don't like to take rejections, and they're not good at taking rejections, and it's very uncomfortable, and they don't want to have real conversations. I got my rejection dilemma out of the way when I was doing door to door a long time ago, 20 years ago.
mm,
And yes, so I know how hard it is, but you have to get over it, and you have to turn, instead of saying, "Oh, well, this guy rejected me or this person rejected me." It's doesn't a no doesn't mean no forever. It could mean for now. So if you see the positive in every rejection, I think you're better off. And at the end, algorithms don't build the relationship. So once people, I think it resonates with them and it sinks in, then they will change their perception. So if, and this is what I say, algorithms don't build relationships, people do.
yeah,
And deep down they know that growth requires being seen, being heard, sometimes, being told no, part of the
yeah,
game. So
yeah.
social media can amplify credibility, but face to face and the exposure reveals confidence.
So how did you get into this line of business? Something off the beaten track now. So how did you decide everyone wants digital marketing? I'm gonna be, traditional marketing specialist. I'm gonna help local businesses build and expand their business a traditional way. What happened?
What happened for me, it goes back to 2005, because, as I said, I'm a graphic design by profession. So I went to school and I double majored. I did multimedia and graphic design,
Mhm.
but I always knew that I'm not good at working for other people, but I didn't know. When you're young, you don't have a label, you don't know the terminology or entrepreneurships, you don't know those fancy words, right? You just know you don't want to work for others. And I didn't want to be somebody's errand girl. And graphic design back then was very highly competitive. And this was in Chicago. I didn't want to work for a firm to be somebody's errand girl. I said, I want a fun job that's going to make me money, and I want to wake up loving my job. So I
Mm.
stumbled upon this marketing company, and we were doing promotional marketing
Oh,
door to door, selling spa packages, medical spa, nail salon, spa packages, the beauty industry. And that's where I found out, or came to realization, that I'm good at sales and I can sell pretty much anything to anybody.
mhm.
And my boss used to tell me, Bettina can sell rice to the Chinese and snow to the Eskimo. So I took and ran with it. And then, because I didn't want to work for that person, he wasn't nice,
Mm,
I went on my own. And then I created this concept actually here in Florida 10, no, not 10 years ago, 5 years ago, just before COVID, that I
mm,
don't want to be the door to door. I don't, it's very cheapy sounding. I don't want to sell anything. I want to be an executive elite marketing specialist. So
Mm-hmm.
I came up with this concept. This concept is original to me. I wanted to be able to do marketing for variety of industries, and I got creative as I went along. And then I also developed a concept for attorneys where I can market for them,
Mm-hmm.
and that's how it came.
I love it. So last question, I promise. You're
Yes.
just so interesting. I can't
I
leave.
love talking to you.
Thank you. I love talking to you. So I know that you have some furry babies. Do you want to
Yes, I
share
do.
a little bit? Whom do you have? What are the names? What are
So
the
I have
furry
two
babies?
fair babies.
Yeah.
I could show you, but I have a wolf and husky, a boy.
Oh,
He's half wolf, half husky. His name is Bentley. He's huge, and
oh,
he's 6 years old. He just
mm,
turned 6 on Christmas Eve.
congratulations.
Thank you. And then I have Sky, who fell in my lap 6 months ago, and it was a saving rescue kind of situation from a breeder
Mm-hmm.
who gave her up. So
Oh,
I took her in, and her name is Sky. She's a Siberian Husky, full breed, and
mm-hmm.
she's 2.5 years old. They're both white. Sky has both blue eyes. Bentley has one blue, one green.
Nice. How do they get on? They play
Oh, they
together?
get along fine. Bentley at first he didn't want because he kept looking at me saying, "Mom,
Wow.
stop bringing in strays. I don't want anybody. I don't want to share you with anybody. I don't want to share my home with anybody."
Mm,
But I think because she's a girl, he
yeah.
eventually accepted her,
Mm-hmm.
but it took a while.
Beautiful names, though. Did they come with these names or you gave them the names?
I gave them the little one. She came with the name Heaven, but I didn't think that's a good name.
Yeah.
Plus, I always say new life, new name.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I changed it to Sky, and Bentley literally came into the name.
Hmm.
Yes,
I love it. It's reminds me, I lived in Japan, and many artists
really.
in Japan change names every 7 years. So I got very interested in that concept. And
Wow,
turns out that it's pretty used to be a common thing in Japan and some other cultures because they believe that you are reborn as a person every 7 years, and therefore you change
wow.
your name. And that's why I studied art as my major, and that's why you see art by same artist but under different names, and you think, wow, these artists are so similar, but it's the same person,
It's the
just
same.
names different
Wow,
stages.
that's amazing.
So it's very interesting, but I do believe that the name you're given has a huge impact on your destiny and how you
Hmm.
act, how you're perceived by people, that certain names can come with certain characteristics. And I
Yes.
do advise strongly that if you get unlucky in life, go through a difficult period, that you live in 7 year kind of, you know, not episodes, but like time frames, like 7 years, 7 till 14, 14, 21. So if you have this dry spell when things are not happening for you, wait till your next 7 year turn, like 42 to 49, for example, and change your name, and that really changes your mindset. So it's not even other people's mindset. You're sending a signal to other people, I'm changed, but you're sending a signal to your body. So there is medical practitioners who actually strongly advise it if you have different health ailments.
Hmm.
Changes your mindset if you take a different name and say, I will take a name Heather because I perceive it as a healthy name, and for my next 7 years, my name will be Heather. So it signals to your
Wow.
body that you're a different person now. You treat your body differently, and it changes the way you actually eat. And so there is a whole science about it. So I love the fact that you changed Sky's names, for example. And yeah, very interesting. Very interesting.
Yeah. New
Well, thank you
beginning.
so much for your time, Bettina. As always, pleasure to have you here. I hope you will come back sometime soon again because so many insights. And to be honest, I never thought about traditional marketing for my company, but now I started thinking that you are absolutely right. And this is the opportunity for us to stand out and do something different. Because
Yes, absolutely.
even with virtual assistant agencies, that's my line of business. Everyone gets emails nowadays. Hey, hire virtual assistant.
Mm-hmm.
Got tired of it, but actually,
Yes.
no one ever called me about offering a virtual assistant. So I guess if I picked up the phone and called a couple of local businesses saying, "Hey, we are on the same block. Have you thought of?"
Yeah.
It's a complete
Or
conversation.
even go in person
Yeah,
and they see your personality, they see who you are. It just makes a huge difference.
true.
Huge difference.
Well, thanks so much for sharing your insights. I
Well,
hope
thank
if
you.
I'm encouraging people to get in touch with Bettina if you have any questions. Take her out for coffee. She's an amazing conversationalist, so you will have a lot of fun with her either way. I promise you that. And yeah, just huge thank you for your time, and I hope to see you soon.
Well, thank you so much for having me, Anna. As always, a pleasure to talk to you, and it's been an honor. Thank you so much.